I got a call from a shelter in Cleveland, Mississippi that needs help with some hounds.
In 2009, Tia Torres became a household name after her Animal Planet show Pitbulls and Parolees went viral. The performance was a reflection of her steadfast commitment to two underappreciated communities: rescued pit dogs and ex-offenders. Both were given a second shot at life by Torres, who crafted a moving narrative that struck a chord with audiences. Moving her whole rescue operation and dealing with financial difficulties once the program was canceled were two of the many key obstacles she faced on her trip. This documentary explores the remarkable life of the remarkable woman and the lasting impact of her refuge for rescued animals. Tia Maria Torres was born on June 11, 1960 in Southern California. Her early life was impacted by her parents' divorce and the unwavering support of her stepmother, whom she fondly calls Mom. Through her difficult beginnings, she developed a profound compassion for those in need, whether they be people or animals. As a little girl growing up in an environment with a wide variety of animals, dogs, cats, and even horses, Tia hoped for a family that could cross species lines. The incredible power and discipline she inherited from her stepmother, who frequently called animals Mother Nature's gifts, were life lessons for a poor household. The lack of a father figure strengthened her connection with animals, showing her that unexpected places may offer unconditional love and dedication. Two Arabian horses, an Angora goat, and Tia's cherished Catula leopard dog, Cougar, made up her unusual company when she embarked on her solo journey at the tender age of 17. The next several years were spent on the road, experiencing all sorts of thrills and trials, including sleeping in a horse trailer or truck when she was destitute. This way of life, with all its challenges, deepened her bond with animals and strengthened her resolve to ensure their welfare. Tia learned unfaltering tenacity and a deep respect for the unconditional affection that animals provide throughout these early years, despite the challenges they presented. Countless twists and turns befell Tia's life. She drove trucks, was in the military, and is now a Los Angeles teenage gang counselor. As she worked with marginalized people and at-risk youth, she was able to see firsthand the complexities of city life. Working with disadvantaged populations was a talent she would need in her subsequent pursuits, and the rigorous and occasionally risky work gave her that experience. A watershed moment came when fate brought them together at a Los Angeles animal sanctuary. Pitbulls, a breed that is frequently misunderstood and insulted, were her first encounters there. The inspiration for her life's work originated from a single brindle pit bull that was taken from a scene of brutal crime. Even though it had a terrible history, the dog showed surprising kindness and quickly became close to Tia's little girls. Tia was really affected by this kind encounter since it disproved the bad preconceptions about the breed. Tia overcame the obstacle of pit bull adoption laws in her area by utilizing her connections with animal control and her unwavering will. As a result, the dog was released into her care. Tatanka was the first pit bull that Tia saved, and her actions laid the groundwork for the rest of her life. Although Tia's original intent for the Villa Aobos Rescue Center was to provide a safe haven for wolf hybrids and wolves, she later broadened her focus to encompass pit bulls in an effort to dispel the stereotypes that surround these sometimes misunderstood creatures. The Pitbull Support Group was founded in March 1999 as a result of her unwavering commitment in collaboration with Los Angeles Animal Services. All over the city, Pitbull owners could rely on this organization for crucial resources like spay-neuter help, training sessions, and more. The group's 11-year run of surprising success demonstrated Tia's far-reaching influence on people and non-human creatures alike. As Tia expanded her animal rescue organization, she started employing people with criminal records. Her mentorship program swiftly expanded from helping a single newly released individual to 2 adolescent boys, friends of her daughters, who were also having difficulty adjusting to adulthood. Her passion, which centered on helping the underprivileged, grew out of this seemingly insignificant act of charity. As they helped with rescue efforts and found stability in the welcoming community, the two young guys, Mo and Kanani, became cherished members of her expanding family. As a result, the Via Aobos Rescue Center evolved into a refuge for abused and neglected animals, as well as individuals in search of second chances. Tia's innovative strategy, which combined human rehabilitation with animal rescue, gained her a lot of praise in her community. Her remarkable community service and empathetic nature were the subjects of an article in a Los Angeles magazine. Producers from the television industry took notice of the piece. Despite her reservations, Tia signed a television agreement in the end. As funding for Via Aobos decreased, the subsequent show, Pitbulls and Parolees, sprang to fame, increasing both adoptions and donations. This newfound triumph, though, would not be permanent. A new chapter began as Via Aobos faced an uphill battle to stay in business due to tightening rules and a deteriorating California economy. Tia took the tough choice to move her whole enterprise to New Orleans, when faced with overwhelming barriers. This included more than 20 pit dogs, a plethora of other animals for youngsters, and a number of parolees. Involvement in relief activities during Hurricane Katrina gave her a profound connection to the city, which in turn inspired this massive initiative. With its one-of-a-kind allure and Tia's deep roots in the neighborhood, New Orleans presented an opportunity for Via Aobos, and everyone it helped to start again. Uprooting was more than just a change of scenery. It was evidence of Tia's dogged will to keep doing what she does best, saving the lives of those she rescued and the many more she affected. This major shift marked a new beginning for Tia Torres, whose life and work have been distinguished by the resilience and commitment she has shown. Her life is an inspiration because it shows how kindness and perseverance can change lives, especially for the underdogs. Los Angeles County's increasingly stringent regulations and prohibitively high fees for kennel permits were the main obstacles she faced in California. She was much more determined after facing these obstacles. She started what would become a famous enterprise in 2010, moving Via Aobos around the country. Hundreds of rescued pit bulls had to be physically transported as part of this enormous undertaking, which also included paperwork and logistics. A collection of moving trucks, an ingeniously converted RV called the Doggy Limo, and even a repurposed school bus were all put to use to transport her canine charges safely in the moving fleet, which was a monument to her inventiveness. Her tenacity was on full display during the trip. Several lengthy journeys across the nation were necessary, and each one had its own unique set of difficulties. Tia finally arrived in Louisiana with the other 50 dogs on January 1, 2011, officially establishing Via Aobos's new home. Even while this was a turning point, her problems were far from over. In a short amount of time, what started as a single site in Louisiana became a multifaceted rescue organization with branches all throughout Texas and Louisiana. Thanks to Tia's brilliant business sense, boundless compassion, and undying love for the animals she took in, Via Aobos has grown into one of the biggest pit bull rescue facilities in the world. Difficulties have arisen in Tia's private life. Unpredictable changes in life were set in motion by a challenging upbringing. Her already difficult life became much more so when she wed Aaron Marcus Jackson, a guy with a storied criminal history that included a high-profile gun battle with authorities. She proved her sensitivity and willingness to give second chances when she wed him in 2006, upon his release from jail, despite his difficult past. In 2018, Tia openly announced the dissolution of her marriage in a Facebook post, demonstrating her frankness and transparency despite her personal struggles. She attributes much of her success in life to the role of mother. Tanya Torres and Maria Clementine, her biological daughters, now divorced, and Kanani and Mo, her adoptive twin sons, make up her family of 4. In addition to being vital cogs in the wheel of the rescue center, these 4 youngsters personify the altruism and belief in second chances that characterize their mother's work. Despite facing several personal and professional obstacles, Tia persists in her work with resolute commitment. She continues to play an active part in animal rescue and parolee rehabilitation, demonstrating her strong conviction in the life-changing potential of second chances for all creatures. Every dog in her care gets the utmost care and devotion from her, and she is completely devoted to Via Aobos. Aside from running the rescue on a daily basis, she's also very much into promoting the Rabid Reality network, which is a platform that will help Via Aobos reach more people, raise more awareness, and get the money it needs to stay in business. Her long-term objective is to fight for the rights of abused and neglected animals by drawing attention to the value of rehabilitation and dispelling common myths about pit bulls and people with criminal records. She hopes her message of kindness and the life-altering potential of second chances might reach more people. When the 2009 season of Pitbulls and Parolees debuted on Animal Planet, it thrust Tia and Via Aobos into the national limelight. The show chronicled the day-to-day activities of the rescue facility, giving viewers a close look at the difficulties and triumphs of rescuing and rehabilitating pit bulls, while also providing a job opportunity and assistance to persons who had recently been released from parole. The remarkable potential for human development and the adoration of these sometimes misunderstood pets were vividly shown in every episode. Guests met Tia's children Tanya and Maria, as well as her adoptive sons Kanani and Mo, and the wives they had, who all played significant roles in the story. Throughout the series, we followed their journey from Duarte, California, to Greater New Orleans, Louisiana, and even their valiant but doomed effort to leave for Tehachapi, California. Kern County's last-minute refusal of licenses in 2011 caused a major setback in Tehachapi, which was emotionally and financially devastating, and demonstrated the ongoing vulnerability of running a large-scale animal rescue. This setback wasn't enough to deter Tia, who showed remarkable tenacity by securing a new location and continuing the rescue operations in the wake of the disastrous storms and hurricanes that hit the New Orleans facility, which was featured prominently in an episode from 2021. When Animal Planet canceled Pitbulls and Parolees in 2022, it was as a result of larger reorganization inside Discovery Communications after its acquisition by Warner Brothers, marking a turning point in the show's history, the process of discovery. A huge obstacle stood in the way of this. The show's constant sponsorship had left Via Aobos in a terrible financial bind, even while repeats kept airing. Without warning, the steady flow of funds that had been vital in meeting the enormous expenses of caring for the dogs and providing for the rescue's staff disappeared. This problem was tackled by Tia with her usual dogged determination. She thanked the show's viewers for their support and expressed her regret, but then she moved on to protecting Via Aobos's future. While the show's cancellation was a blow at first, it ultimately strengthened her resolve since she knew her purpose would continue even after the show ended. She redirected her efforts toward establishing her own internet network, Rabid Reality. By keeping in touch with her audience in this way, she is able to keep telling inspiring tales, raising money, and staying connected to the community that has believed in her for so long. She demonstrated her dedication to dispelling myths about pit bulls and giving parolees a second opportunity during the 19 seasons of Pitbulls and Parolees. At the same time as the show's finale closed a chapter, it also began a new one. The animals and people who rely on Tia's compassion and commitment are given strength by her vision and unyielding will. The effect of Tia's work and the ongoing success of Via Aobos's rescue facility ensure that Pitbulls and Parolees will continue to live on, even after the show has ended. Tia Torres, star of Animal Planet's Pitbulls and Parolees, overcame a major obstacle when the show abruptly stopped, thanks to her resolute will and the unfaltering encouragement of her community. Her Via Aobos rescue facility had been receiving much-needed funds and care for years, until it was suddenly canceled due to a conglomeration of factors, including the COVID-19 epidemic, a corporate takeover and merger, and finally, actions that were beyond her control. Because of this, Tia and her crew had to act quickly to ensure the survival of the rescue, which is almost 30 years old. Even though shooting had ended more than a year ago, the sudden decline in the show's adoption rates and large donations was reason for urgent alarm. The original speculation about an Animal Planet sale and the promise of a new season have only served to heighten these concerns. Tia chose to use her well-known internet profile and the devoted fan following she gained through Pitbulls and Parolees to her advantage when she was in a financial bind. She had a vision for a more effective strategy, rather than depending on mainstream platforms that, in her opinion, did not comprehend the wants and requirements of animal lovers. An independent non-profit SVOD service called Rabid Reality was born out of this need. Tia established Rabid Reality, a revolutionary platform that would donate 100% of its subscription income to the Via Aobos Rescue Center, in collaboration with the production business Early Release Media (ERM). Being the first subscription video on demand service, SVOD, to focus only on assisting animal rescue organizations, it set a new standard. The portal had a wide variety of material, including new shows and exclusive video of Pitbull's and Parolees' beloved cast members. Among these were the unscripted series Life with the Underdogs, which showcased the continuing rescue operations, the travelogue The Big Easy Boys, which put fan-favorite Parolees exploring New Orleans, the video podcast Sell Dogs and Dog Diaries, which gave behind-the-scenes looks into the rescue, and finally, the Animal Planet series Pitbull's Parolees and a producer came out. There were 4 different membership tiers to suit different donation amounts, and the content breadth was ambitious across a smart TV app, smartphone applications, and a specialized website. ERM was involved in more than just production. They built an end-to-end network for delivering content from the bottom up, which gives them full command over everything from creation to distribution to audience-specific personalization. When Tia first heard about Rabid Reality, she was excited about the potential it had to bring her audience closer, allow her to tell genuine rescue tales, and ensure Via Aobos' continued success. To strengthen her bond with her fans and include them in the rescue's future, she dreamed of fresh programs, podcasts, and interesting video material. Difficulties with extreme reality. Nevertheless, there were substantial obstacles to this encouraging launch. The unexpected cancellation of Rabid Reality occurred less than 1 year afterwards. Tia justified the tough decision by saying that cutting costs significantly and improving the customer experience were more important. Subscriptions were canceled due to the platform's technical support problems. The problems were pointed up by Tia, who decided to go back to a simpler, easier model. Tia had contemplated this tactic before she partnered with ERM, and it included transferring subscribers from Rabid Reality to her current Patreon site. Similar footage was also made available on a newly created YouTube account for Via Aobos Rescue Center. A public apology from Tia followed the sudden modifications, and she said that the platform had failed because she and other members of the Rabid Reality team had different ideas about its scope and usefulness. For her audience, she stressed simplicity and accessibility. People who weren't satisfied with the Rabid Reality material because of the changeover might get their money back. Despite the failure of Rabid Reality, Tia is still fully committed to Via Aobos. Tia Talk, Torres Unmuzzled, and 25 to Wife are new podcasts, and some programming like Life with the Underdogs is still available on Patreon and YouTube. From the struggles of the staff to more general topics like dog care and even personal thoughts like Tia's marriage to an ex-con, they provide a window into the day-to-day operations of the rescue center. A documentary-style series called Moto Maidens, which follows a group of female motorcyclists, is also available on the site. This simplified method gives Tia more freedom to express her creativity while cutting expenditures. Subscriptions to Patreon range from $3 to $25 each month, and supporters can now donate in this way. Although this plan isn't as grand as originally envisioned, it seems to offer a better long-term solution for Tia and Via Aobos Rescue Center, guaranteeing that the hundreds of pit bulls that are in her care would be taken care of. We still don't know if external forces were eventually too much for Tia to control, or if a different strategy would have resulted in a more solid and long-term financial arrangement for Via Aobos. How do you see Tia's adventure and Via Aobos developing from here? Drop a comment with your thoughts. Support us by giving us a like and subscribing to our channel. For more amazing stories, watch the videos on screen. Until the next video, stay tuned.